There's no more Joy. That's right. Hashtag Kit Adrian Cabello of Hard Lens Media is canceling the Joy. You get no Joy here. Well, I'm not going to be canceling Joy. No. All of you can be smiling while watching the show. But Joy Reid, the host of MSNBC, is out. There's major shakeups happening at the network. And, this just goes on to previous other stories that we've covered here about corporate media going broke. It wasn't on my bingo card after November 5th that CNN and MSNBC would be hemorrhaging views, that Comcast would be thinking about letting go of MSNBC. This has been a rather big shock. And I actually also had a very fascinating conversation yesterday with some people here in the media space in Chicago, ranging from some pretty big outlets here. And across the board, I mean, it's not looking good for traditional media. And if it's not looking good, one has to wonder just how bad MSNBC and CNN are really, really panicking behind the scenes. So first, I mean, folks, let's at least have some humor here because Joy seems to be out of it. And whoever did this, well, actually, you know what? I know who did it. Maze, I'm looking at you. Why'd you do this? Why?
Make your own dinner, MAGA. Make your own sandwiches. Wipe your own tears. Troll amongst yourselves with Elon and leave us alone. We don't want to put up with your trolling while we eat our tofurkey.
Tofurkey? Ugh. I'm sorry, nothing against people who eat tofu, but I mean, like, look, I'm a carnivore. I'm a carnivore through and through. But okay, tofurkey. You didn't have to say that on MSNBC.
Get over it. You're trolling while we eat our tofurkey. Get over it. Stop acting like we owe you. And for God's sakes, stop whining. It's embarrassing.
Yes, of course. But of course, this happened here. This happened over the weekend. I don't know if this was a birthday present by the gods above or the God Emperor of mankind or whoever to the spirits, or if this was just a random event that happened, but it wasn't on my bingo card. And I got to say, all of us in the independent media are like, shocked. In fact, this is how we feel, actually. This is how we feel.
Amazing.
MSNBC has canceled Joy Reid's 7 o'clock show, The Reidout, as part of a major overhaul by the network's new regime. Reid, an unabashed liberal, mainstay, in fact, you could argue, and an emphatic Trump critic, will be replaced by a new show hosted by former Obama staffer and Bernie Sanders backer Simone Sanders Townsend, also former RNC chair Michael Steele, and Alicia Menendez, the daughter of disgraced New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez. Reid has been a host on the network since 2016. And
so I hope you heard those last two, right? Michael Steele, but also the daughter of former Senator of the great state New Jersey, Senator Mendez. His daughter's going to be hosting that show along with Simone Sanders Townsend. You can't make this up. Yo, MSNBC, put me in the game, coach. I can be both drunk and high at the same time, and I can make better decisions. You know what? I'm going to bring my whole audience with me. I'm going to bring my whole audience, all my subscribers in the same room, all of us together. We might be talking over each other, but I'm willing to bet in that whole gaggle of madness, we'll come up with more better ideas of who should be hosts of that 7 o'clock time slot. I mean, the senator of New Jersey, the senator who had gold bars and bags and wads of money all over the house. People of New Jersey. Your Senator Mendez, whatever happened there. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about this. MSNBC cancels the Joy. Oh, the Joy Reid lefty show. She wasn't a lefty, please. And I know I got conservatives and libertarians in this show who watch the show, who like the show. Listen, guys, Joy Reid's not a lefty, okay? Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't put that evil on me, all right? No. So BSNBC or BSDNC or MSNBC liberal mainstay Joy Reid's show has been canceled as part of a major overhaul by the network's new president, Rebecca Cutler, according to a report. The 7 p.m. program hosted by ardent Trump critic Reid, 56, will be replaced by a new panel featuring co-hosts Alicia Menendez, daughter of Senator Mendez, the great state of New Jersey. Even Tony Soprano's shocked. Michael Steele and Simone Sanders Townsend, the New York Times reported, citing insiders. What could go wrong? The final episode of Reid's show, The Reidout, will air sometime this week, ending a mainstay of BSDNC's lineup for the past 5 years, according to the Times. MSNBC declined to comment. It marks the first large-scale shakeup by MSNBC's new president, Cutler, since she took over the liberal network earlier this month, as it looks to double down on its lefty agenda during the second Trump administration. There's nothing lefty about Emmett. Please, listen. I know I got Trumpers who watch the show. I know I got libertarians who watch the show. I know I got conservatives who watch the show. And I love all of you. But MSNBC is not a... There's nothing lefty about them. I mean, these people went after all of us who just wanted Bernie Sanders to fight back. All these corporate media pundits. They're not lefties. Please, just don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't put that evil on me. Again, whenever you hear anybody say MSNBC is a lefty channel, it's a lie.
All lies will be exposed.
Exactly. It's a lie. It's a lie. I'll pay you so much money not to continue on with this lie. So there you go. It marks the first large-scale shakeup by MSNBC's new president, Cutler, since she took over the... Yeah, of course, I read that already. Reid, one of the most prominent Trump bashers in the mainstream media, has been a fixture at the network since 2011, hosting the weekend talk show AM Joy since 2016, before getting named anchor of the 7 p.m. slot in 2020. Born in Brooklyn to a Congolese father and Guinea's mother, Reid graduated from Harvard University in 1991 with a film studies concentration. So they're talking about how she worked up. But I was not aware of this. In 2017, a series of, homophobic posts on her personal blog, The Reid Report, were unearthed on social media, in which Reid expressed disgust at the notion of men kissing or vehemently opposed gay marriage, trafficked in 9/11 conspiracy theories, and accused gay men of being attracted to very young individuals. That's all I could say. Initially, Reid denied penning the hateful missives and claimed her blog had been hacked, assertions the Daily Beast systematically dismantled in an analysis. Remember, the internet is forever. Reid opened a 2018 episode of AM Joy on MSNBC with what critics said was a non-apology apology, in which she admitted she couldn't prove she had been hacked, but stuck to her claim that she couldn't remember writing the posts. That's goofy. Then in June of that year, Reid at last formally apologized for the blog post, saying she was a better person today than over a decade ago, calling the writings of things I deeply regret and am embarrassed by. Oh my goodness. MSNBC never wavered its support for the far left anchor, saying the writings were not reflective of the colleague and friend we've known at MSNBC for the last 7 years. I generally do not believe those hateful things because they are completely alien to me, she said. So there you go. So now we are witnessing this. We're witnessing the full-on downfall of MSNBC. Now, MSNBC and some of its fellow cable networks are being spun off by Comcast, forcing MSNBC to build up some of its own reporting and news gathering infrastructure. And I just want to pause here for a second. That says a lot about the situation at MSNBC, because for a long time they relied on Comcast protection. Now, yesterday, I really had a great conversation with some people here in the local media space in Chicago. And the stories they were telling me, especially for local media, it is rather concerning, because the writing is on the wall that the internet and the way things are and how November 5th played out. Prepare yourselves to see more stories of people, prominent people, not only in corporate media, but even at your local media, things being diced down and cut. The inflation in the economy and the times and the way people consume information has drastically changed, and MSNBC doesn't have a leg to stand on. Going on to this even further, because they got more problems. MSNBC settles defamation suit with doctor they claimed was mass sterilizing women at ICE detention centers. So see, again, MSNBC had that protection of Comcast. If MSNBC doesn't have that protection anymore, if they're being spun off and have to do their own news gathering and source information, what else are they being cut off from? Big Daddy Comcast. I know, put that image in your head. Now, I got problems with Comcast for many reasons. But a parent company of MSNBC, NBC Universal, has reached a settlement after being sued for defamation by Georgia gynecologist who said a news network made verifiably false statements about the doctor being a uterus collector. Multiple hosts said the doctor was performing mass hysterectomies on female detainees at an immigration customs enforcement facility. The lawsuit was targeted at programming coming from hosts Rachel Maddow, Nicole Wallace, and Chris Hayes that accused the Georgia gynecologist, Dr. Medera M., of being a uterus collector and performing unnecessary hysterectomies in mass at the ICE Center, according to Fox News. So they had to sign a settlement. MSNBC's got to be careful. And one other thing here, too. If Joy Reid, being the most prominent person, especially during the height of the Biden-Harris administration, who had her show in 2020, is being cut loose, what does it mean for Rachel Maddow or anybody else? I mean, is anybody else going to get the chopping block? We already talked about how a lot of the prominent people are getting pay cuts. I mean, yes, they're still going to be getting that $1 million check, but it's not going to be any more additional millions. So as a final note, I just got to say, Gio Dibata, I hope I said your name correct. I saw your post on Twitter. You know, I like to say, hey, who did this? Who did this? It's a funny note. Joy-Ann Reid canceled by MSNBC. Does that mean Rachel Maddow is next? Why'd you do this, Gio? Why'd you do this? Explain to me. Why'd you do this? How dare you? MSNBC, they're the sinking ship. The Titanic is sinking. And Trump derangement syndrome is not playing out the way a lot of people in corporate media hoped it would. So, folks, let this be a lesson to you. Everything has a beginning, middle, and end. And MSNBC, I don't want to say curtains are falling, but it's not looking good for them.